What's up, good people? It's your girl Yolanda Murphy here. First things first, welcome to this exceptional journey, YouTube. I have been wanting to do this intro video forever, okay? I came up with the idea, probably if you've stumbled here, you know that I already have a blog, I already have a podcast of the same name, This Exceptional Journey. And since I started my blog in January of this year, 2018, I've wanted to click over to the little YouTube section of the world and kind of put my honesty to video. And I've, contemplated doing this intro video, contemplating, what it needs to look like, what I need to look like. And to be honest, I'm here, okay? But I wanted to at least create this little short intro video so you guys know exactly what I'm about, what you can find on this channel and what you won't find on this channel, to be honest. So if you don't know anything about me, if you've never read my blog, if you've never listened to my podcast, my name is Yolanda. I'm from the fair city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 6 rings, black and gold forever. I am 39 years old and a 2-year breast cancer survivor. And I wanted to share my journey as I was going through with breast cancer, but I didn't really have the mental strength and physical strength, to be honest, to muster up enough courage to put my battle to film or to audio. So here I am, 2 years later, creating different platforms that my story can be heard, so that someone who's out there, man or woman, who has to face either breast cancer or any other diagnosis in life, who is facing challenges really, can really see that if I'm making it, you can too. It's no different. So besides being 39, I have 2 jobs. I'm regular. I am a regular. But again, I wanted to create this space to not only get my story out to the world, a form of inspiration, to give other men and women empowerment through their tough seasons. You'll probably be entertained along the way, but also to ensure that what I have in me is not just in me, it's also in you. So to kind of ignite other people to tell and share their stories, because you never know who's out there that may come across you, that may see your sparkling smile and want to know what it is they can do to get through their exceptional journeys as well. So that was the whole preface of this. I hope you guys stick around and kick it with me for a little while. I'm not really sure yet what format I want to do. I don't know if I want to do like vlog style, or if I want to do videos like this where I'm just sitting in my office and, we're just talking here and there. But we'll see. We'll see, what happens. I'm not sure what scheduling will look like, because as I said, I am already a busy person, which is not an issue, but we'll see. Let me put that out there. We'll see. If you haven't already, like I said, I already have a blog. I already have a podcast. Go over to my my blog, thisexceptionaljourney.com. Let me know what you think. Read my stories. I'm talking from a cancer survivor's perspective, but cancer is just a small part of the journey of where I've come from. And literally there will be more to come, so you don't want to miss it. And then while you're at it, go ahead and check out my podcast. My baby just started this month, October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm about 2 episodes in with a preview, and episode 3 will be uploaded tomorrow. So listen, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. And also don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review so you know exactly what's going on. All right, cool. So to be honest, in this first video, I wanted to share how amazing my weekend was. It's Sunday. Everything is kind of quiet. The day is dying down. It's in the evening at this point. But I wanted to share how amazing my weekend was. It started on Thursday. And just to tell you a little bit about the connections that I have, with breast cancer organizations. Here in my city, we have what's called the Cancer Caring Center, which is an amazing organization that helps not just young adult cancer survivors, but anyone with any walk of cancer, whether surviving, thriving, just diagnosed. They help, and they have support groups. They have a food bank. They give financial stipends to help people pay their bills. So it's a really awesome organization. Within the Cancer Caring Center, there is a support group for young adult cancer survivors that I'm a part of. And every year we have an amazing event called the Wig Out. And if you're watching, Stephanie, hey girl. But we have every year an amazing fundraising event called the Wig Out, where we all wear these crazy wigs. This was my wig. If you can't tell, red is my favorite color. But this was my wig. Can you imagine seeing this on me? But yeah, we wore amazing wigs like this, all different colors, and it's appropriate time since it's around Halloween. But we got to wear our wigs to raise funds for our organizations. We do tons of things throughout the year. We have a support meeting every month, and then we have an outing every month. And it's amazing to get together with other young adults who have had cancer or still have cancer, and just to be able to relate with one another. And I can't tell you how many things I've done that I've never done before. Let's see, axe throwing, what? Kayaking. You know, Pittsburgh is the city known as Three Rivers. We were on those dirty rivers kayaking. Let's see what else. We did archery, which I've never done. Air rifle shooting. The list goes on and on, but we had our amazing event this Thursday called the Wig Out. It was a great time. And not only did I have an amazing time with my fellow support group members, but it was a way for the whole entire community, the city of Pittsburgh, to come out and support our amazing organization. So had a great time. Guys, if you're watching, I love you. So that was Thursday, right? So got together with my peeps, had a great time at the Wig Out. And then I had the auspicious occasion to attend the Pennsylvania Breast Cancer Coalition's conference in Harrisburg, PA. Here's the book. I don't know if you guys can see that. It was an amazing time. I actually got to meet some amazing people. I ran into some people that I already know, and I got to be and sit in some sessions that, of course, educated me more, whether it was around nutrition or BRCA mutations in breast cancer. The list goes on and on. It was an amazing event. Like I said, I got to bump into some people I already know that I've met at other conferences or other trainings, sessions that I've gone to. And I actually got to meet a woman named Robin Shine Maddox. Listen, this woman is amazing. She just finished chemo like 2 weeks ago, and she was a speaker at the Survivor's Reception. You guys will probably hear more about her, because I honestly believe her and I are going to be connected for a while at this point. But to say the least, the conference was amazing. I've never been to Harrisburg, so I, after the conference, got to walk around the city a little bit and see the sights, got to eat dinner, and then head back on home Saturday evening. Like afternoon, I got home, and then what was supposed to be a casual evening with myself and a few of my cousins ended up being like a celebration for me. I told my cousins probably maybe a couple weeks ago, because we're actually planning our family reunion for next year, and we have monthly meetings where we sit down to see where we are, things like that. And we discussed at the next meeting, I said, okay, guys, once the meeting was over, I said, I want to do something in the month of October. Doesn't have to be anything deep, just to kind of celebrate. I have a cancerversary. October 5th was the actual cancerversary of me completing all of my active treatment. So I said to them, I would like to do something, whether we go to dinner or, we go out, whatever the case may be. So these group of women, the women that I mentioned it to, these were the people I was supposed to be going bowling with. Now, we did go bowling. I did meet them at the bowling alley, but when I showed up, these babies, there were like 30 people, 25 to 30 people, all my family, and they surprised me with and I'll try to insert a picture here, if I remember, sorry, but I'll try to insert a picture so you guys can see. They surprised me with a pink ribbon cake, some awesome balloons. Let me show you the balloons. I'm just gonna turn so you can see. Aren't those awesome? So they surprised me with those. And then they had t-shirts made. Let me show you my t-shirt. So the front of my t-shirt says, "Cancer touched my boobs, so I kicked its ass." Okay? This is hilarious. And it's probably going to read backwards because I'm actually using the front camera of my phone. I just thought about that. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to redo the video. But this is the front of my shirt. Hopefully you can read backwards. And then, you know, the name of my blog, the name of my podcast is This Exceptional Journey. What did they get on the back, guys? What did they get on the back? Hashtag exceptional journey. So it ended up being like a whole celebration of my life. And again, what I walked in with the whole, you know, reasoning, okay, there's going to be 5 of us. That's good, 5 or 6 of us. And I walked in and they were all wearing I think the front of their t-shirts said, "No one is alone," or "No one fights alone." And then it had the hashtag on the back. So needless to say, once I got back from Harrisburg and got settled, I rested for a while, got some work done, you know, in regards to the podcast and everything for next week, and showed up to go bowling, and there my family was in their t-shirts with my t-shirt ready, screaming exceptional journey. It was phenomenal. I'm still on a high if you can't tell. It was amazing. It was amazing. The love in the room. We still bowled. But the love in the room was amazing. I'm still speechless, to be honest. Like, that was Saturday. And then, you know, I'll kind of tell you why I was speechless. I didn't get in till late because it was like all night bowling. And then today, I had the amazing opportunity to be a part of, here in the city of Pittsburgh, there's an organization called the Young Women's Breast Cancer Awareness Foundation, who one of the founders her name is Jennifer Kim. And her and I have kind of been running in the same circles here in the breast cancer community for about a year now. I am also part of another organization called the Young Survival Coalition. And we have a chapter here in Pittsburgh. And her organization and the YSC chapter here in Pittsburgh once a month get together, and whether it be dinner or, you know, just talk. So her and I have known each other at least for that long. And then we've been to a couple of the same conferences together. We actually got trained together in San Diego this past July under the National Breast Cancer Coalition's Project Lead, which is like a scientific and research advocacy training. Pretty intense, and she was a part of it as well. So I say that to say, Jen's organization today had what's called Lanterns of Hope. And I'll try to insert some pictures here so you guys can see exactly what it is. But basically, it is, she selects, I think there were 10 of us, 10 survivors, thrivers, and unfortunately a few that had already passed away from their fight with breast cancer, but lanterns of light in the community of breast cancer. You know, lanterns of hope for other people, you know, that is out advocating for people just like us. And I was selected to be one of the 10 this year. And, you know, I submitted my story. She asked for a couple pictures. And tonight was the event that I was honored amongst my other 9 men and women, breast cancer survivors and thrivers. And it was such an amazing time. My family again came out. You know, some of my church family came. It was amazing. It was amazing. So as you can tell, and I'm sorry, let me show you my plaque. So here was my actual plaque. Can you guys see that? I'll probably post the link to this to her blog so you guys can read the story, because as you can tell, it's long. But here's her organization's logo, Young Women's Breast Cancer Awareness Foundation. And then there are my pics. There's me. And then, like I said, I'll link the blog to this so you guys can go check it out. And then here's my lantern. Let me show you my lantern as well. I thought it was so cute. Little white lantern with my name. A little pink ribbon. And then we had a whole little ceremony where people who are in the community that are like doctors, who are like doctors and oncology professionals, people who are advocating in the space of breast cancer, came and lit our lanterns, kind of like a bridge between, the two. So it was a really cool event. But I say all of this to say that my last 4 days have really made me take inventory. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I'm still on a high. I literally, from Thursday to now, and I really think what it is that I actually feel celebrated. And forgive me if I ramble, because this is my first time I've actually had a moment to sit still and kind of debrief the last 4 days and kind of take inventory for how I really do feel about it. And it has been, as you can tell, I like saying the word, amazing. The last 4 days, and let's even back up to the last 2 years. And I mentioned in one of my podcasts, when you're diagnosed, at least when I was diagnosed, it ends up being fight or flight. It ends up being either I'm surviving or I'm just going to live with it. And I was determined to make it, and I did. Thank you, God. But along the way, literally the day that I finished my active treatment in 2016 on October 5th, I remember writing in my journal, like, okay, now I need to do something to help someone else. Legitimately, the very day I finished, I journaled that day. Now it's time for me to do something for someone else, to help someone garnish some of this information that I've just learned over this last year or 9 to 10 months through my cancer journey. And it's kind of been nonstop training. It's been nonstop conferencing. Like, I finished in October. By that February of the next year, February 2017, I attended my first breast cancer conference, which was for Young Survival Coalition. I went as just an attendee. And by that July, I was in my very first Young Advocate, July 2017, I was in my very first Young Advocate training under the Young Women's Initiative of Living Beyond Breast Cancer nonprofit organization, which is someone else I'm still tied to. So literally, I hit the ground running. As soon as I had enough stamina, as soon as I had enough, cancer fatigue behind me, not gone, because I still have days now, but I felt strong enough and rested enough to say, I can do this. Let's go. But I literally hit the ground running. And since then, my family, friends can let you know, I have done what I can in the space and time given to get information out there, to learn as much information as possible. And then not only just learn information, but learn information from a young adult breast cancer survivor standpoint. Because it's altogether different being diagnosed in your 60s versus your 30s. I was 36 when I was diagnosed, and it's a different world. It's a different beast. And particularly, I'm African American. 40% of African American women who are diagnosed with breast cancer pass away. I'm sorry, 40% more than, let's say, a white counterpart. African American women pass away 40% more than their Caucasian or Asian counterparts. That's a staggering statistic, and that's not even taking into consideration, I don't know the number, but of African American women that are diagnosed, if in fact you are a young breast cancer patient, it's known that your cancer is much more aggressive when you're younger, when you're older. They don't know why. And indeed mine was. So I say that because I have been hitting the ground running since October 5th, whether it was brainstorming, like I said, going to conferences, or just researching and doing things on my own to become the super advocate that I wanted to be for other young men and women that are facing this same monster. And this weekend, although I've been doing work, I was in Harrisburg, recorded a podcast in Harrisburg while I was there because I wanted to get some work done, and then I came back, started working on that podcast and my social media stuff, to post next week. And then here I am on Sunday, recording my intro video for this exceptional journey on YouTube. But I honestly have to say this weekend, well, these last 4 days have honestly made me reflect and feel like I was actually celebrated. And don't get me wrong, I have an amazing support system. I mean, besides my family, I have friends that are family. I call them my family. And they've been in my corner, whether it was the breast cancer walk last year, going to conferences or going to different events that my support group has. I have an amazing support system. So it's not that I'm not supported. It's not that I'm not celebrated by these people that support me either. But this weekend made me feel like, and maybe it was an overwhelming back to back to back celebration because at the Wig Out, we always have a moment where Stephanie, who is the leader of our young adult support group, calls all the survivors up on stage. And, you know, people cheer, people clap us up. And, you know, there's a couple people that tell their story. And it's amazing. You know, we are celebrated. We get to wear our little VIP, you know, tags. And then Friday, there was a survivor's reception, again, where we were celebrated. And of course, like I said, Saturday, where my family celebrated me. And then today, being honored for being a great advocate, if I must say so myself, in the breast cancer community, at least here in Pittsburgh and abroad. It has been a whirlwind, but I am so grateful for the people that are in my corner, because without them, I mean, of course, besides God, of course, but without my support system, I don't know where I would be. I mean, of course, starting with my parents, my mom specifically. Oh my gosh, I love my mom. Let me just tell you guys, I'm sorry, I'm just going to briefly put this in here. This was like the icing on the cake. So at the event today, so I spoke at the symposium. Let me back up a little bit. I spoke at the YSC, Young Survival Coalition Symposium that was here in Pittsburgh in June. And my mom and dad got me these amazing flowers. Like, they were beautiful. Like, they had to cost like $1 million. But it was such a big, huge, you know, bouquet. It was beautiful. So I guess the running thing at this juncture with my parents is every time I invite them to an event, they give me something. Flowers, a card. I spoke somewhere else. I can't remember where it was now off the top of my head, but my mom brought me a card and had like a little Starbucks gift card, I think, in it, because I love coffee, and we'll get to that in some couple other episodes. But I say that to say, so this time around, my mom comes with this. Can you see that? Again, I'm sorry if you have to read backwards, but that says Jared. Jared. I said, now why she got a Jared's bag? She hands it to me. Now, I already have on the gift. So I look in the bag and I'm like, that looks like a Pandora book. I was like, that looks like a Pandora book. So I look, it's a Pandora book. I was like, she got me a Pandora bracelet. So here's the box, but I have the bracelet on, so I'll show you guys briefly. Here is my very first Pandora freaking bracelet. And I don't know if you'll be able to see. I may have to enter a picture of the charm, but one side says mother, and I think it's red. My mom said it was pink, but I think it's red. One side says mother, and the other side says daughter. Well, you can't see that. And then on the inside part there, it says me and you and me. I lost it. When I tell you I lost it. So when I first opened it, I was like, is this a Pandora book? So, you know, went through the whole thing. And when I finally had someone put it on and I went to go thank my mom, tears just flood. She started crying because I was crying. I was like, thank you so much. I'm even about to tear up now because it is so refreshing. And that's the best word I can use now, although it's much more than refreshing. It is refreshing. I can't think of any other word right now. And it's not, it could have been, it didn't have to be Pandora. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for it. And if you can't tell, I'm a spoiled child. At 39, I'm still spoiled. We'll get into that later. But it could have been a bracelet from somewhere else. Walmart, Target. It does. I'm not bougie. Listen, it could have been anything. But what got me was the charm. I'm grateful it was Pandora. But what got me was the charm, because of the mother, daughter, and it's a heart. I don't know if you could, I'll insert a picture here. Don't worry about it. And then on the inside, it says me and you, you and me. That's what got me. I love my mom. I'm not even going, because I'm going to start crying, and I'm trying to keep this makeup at least a little longer, okay? But, so that was the icing on the cake. I say that to say, that was the icing on the cake that sealed my last 4 days. I could never ask for a better support system. If I had to guesstimate how many people were there for me tonight, 10 maybe about 10, 12 people. And all of them throughout my last 2 years have touched my life. About to start crying. Have touched my life in such an amazing way that them just being there tonight was the icing on the cake for me. And to see the love and to feel the love over these last 4 days from different people, from different organizations, was amazing. So, I wanted to let you guys know how amazing my weekend was. And, if I had to give you a takeaway, love on the people that love you. If you're a survivor or a thriver, if you're someone that's going through, some type of situation that's not looking good, you always have someone. You might not know who that someone is, but there's always someone out there that cares and that loves you. I do, for goodness sake. But not only can you make it, but love on those that love on you. I'm grateful for my tribe. I'm grateful for everything that, the good and bad and the ugly that they've seen me through the last 2 years. And again, tonight was phenomenal. It was freaking phenomenal. And, I hope that if you've made it to the end of this video, how many minutes? Oh, 27 minutes. I had no idea. I hope that if you've made it to the end of this video, that, you would consider clicking over to the blog, listen to the podcast. And I'm sorry, the podcast is on all platforms. It's on Android, or that be Google Play Music, Google Podcast app, or iTunes Music. It's on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts as well. It's on Podbean. So let me know what you guys think. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I will definitely say the event with the conference, loss of words, the conference on Friday really kind of lit my advocacy fire all over. It just fueled the fire even bigger, because I'm determined. I am determined to make it, and I'm determined to see other men and women make it with me. So thank you again for checking me out. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And thanks for rocking with me. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.